important piece of equipment on the sled. Okay, the gang line is going to do a bunch of things for you as long as you keep it tight. Okay, that is the #1 rule to dog sledding, is that this gang line must remain tight throughout the entirety of your tour. Okay, I'll show you how to keep it tight, but the things that it's going to do when it is tight is #1, it's going to provide steering. Okay, you're going to look at the sled. There's no steering wheel, there's no rudders, there's nothing to keep your sled, or to steer your sled without using the gang line. Okay, if you keep this gang line tight, we will follow wherever the dogs go. They will steer your sled around corners, around obstacles, up and down hills, all that sort of stuff, as long as you keep it tight. If you do not keep it tight, your sled will travel wherever it wants like a toboggan. Okay? Please keep your gang line tight and you will have steering. The second thing that it's going to do, as you can see, there's no gas pedal. Okay? There's no gas pedal. That's going to control your speed. Okay? Speed is a very important and dangerous thing. Okay? When we're out there, what we want to do is keep this gang line tight, because that's going to ensure that the dogs in your sled are traveling at the same time in the same speed. Okay? If your gang line ever has slack in it, that means that your sled is traveling faster than your dogs and could catch up to your dogs, potentially overtake them, run them over, hit them, bump them, scare them. Okay? We never want to do any of those things, so we're going to keep our gang line tight at all times, ensuring that our sled is traveling at the same speed as our dogs at all times.
And we have control of that.
You have control of that, and I will show you how to do that in a moment. But the other thing with the gang line is there's a bunch of brass clips. Okay? The brass clips are going to attach your dogs to these gang lines. Okay? The gang lines, the dogs are very, very happy to run on the gang lines. It's how they do their work, okay? But when they are released from the gang lines, they're also very happy. And they only know one thing, and that is run, okay? If they're released from the gang line, they will be running through the forest, having the time of their lives, and any of the guides, including myself, will be sprinting after them, not having the time of our lives, okay? So please, never detach a dog or touch these brass clips for any reason, okay? They do not know sit, stay, stop, or come back. Cool? Okay, coming on back to the sled. This is how we're going to keep that gang line tight at all times. This is the brake, okay? I'm going to repeat that, and you guys are going to say it with me. This is the brake. Okay, this is the brake. This is going to be your best friend out there, okay? You're going to be using it a lot. Its main purpose is to slow your sled down, okay? The harder you press it, it works just like a brake in a car. The harder you press it, the more stopping power it has, okay? If you ever find that one foot is not enough, you're pushing as hard as you possibly can, your sled is not slowing down, your gang line is not tight, okay? You can put 2 feet on the brake. That puts maximum stopping power, maximum body weight into the brake, and it will stop or slow down your sled to a point that's safe, okay? If you do not stop your sled from that point, you can pull up on the handlebars, okay? That's beautiful. Who's that? Okay. These are the other guys here. They're hooligans. They're going to be bothering us next as well here. If you ever find that you have 2 feet on the brake and you're pushing down 2 feet on the brake as hard as you possibly can, pull up on the handlebars. Okay? That will stop your sled, if nothing else. Okay? Please remember that. If you find that you're ever bending over the handlebars, it actually takes a lot of weight off of the brake and puts it on the handlebars instead. Okay? So stand up nice and tall, pull up on the handlebars. Cool? Awesome. The other thing that the brake is going to help us with, most importantly, is on downhills. Okay, everybody knows how gravity works. Okay, when downhills come, when we come to a downhill, our sled is going to travel faster and faster and faster, picking up speed as we travel down the hill. Okay? When we get to the top of that hill, the first thing you want to do before you start going down is get on that brake. Okay? That was right, wasn't it? Yeah. We're going to stand on that brake at the top of the hill, making sure that our dogs are going to be pulling us down the hill, keeping the gang line tight. Okay? It's very, very important that you do that, no matter what the hill looks like. Okay? Whether it's very steep, whether it's very small, whether it's extremely tall, whether it's very shallow. Okay? On any downhill, you will be using the brake because your gang line will slack out on that downhill. Okay? So keep that gang line tight at all times. The other thing that the brake is going to help us for is our pacing and our spacing, okay? So the pace is the speed at which the tour moves, okay? I'm going to throw this out there, all right? The last person on every single tour that I've ever run always runs their team faster than everybody else, okay? How they do that is by holding their team back and then sprinting them as fast as they possibly can. I'm going to ask you guys and challenge you not to be those people, okay? So the reason being is the faster the dogs move, the higher risk of injury they have, okay? We want to be moving at the same time. Okay, and how you guys are going to do that is by looking at the sled in front of you, okay? If you see that that sled is moving, you guys are moving. If that sled in front of you is stopped, you guys are stopped, okay? Do not stop your team and hold them back so that you can run them faster. The other thing that you're going to do to match that pace is by keeping about a 5 to 10 foot gap, okay? An even gap throughout the entire tour. That's about me to the wall right now. The reason being is if we keep that gap nice and tight, we're all moving together, we're all going to be at the same speed.
So the dogs won't keep that on their own?
No, they will not.
Okay.
No, they're very competitive. They will try and pass the team in front. That brings me to my next point. Dog teams do not pass well at all. Okay, so we are going to come back in the same order that we leave the staging area in. This is very important. We're going to try and keep that 5 to 10 foot gap by riding that brake, keeping our dogs behind the sled that's in front of us. okay?
Okay.
Lead dogs behind the runners of the sled that's in front of you, because if your lead dog's noses come past those runners, they're going to be tripping the driver in front, smelling their butts, running up past the sled that's in front, mingling with dogs that they don't like. Okay, so please keep your team behind one another at all times. Okay. And if you find that 5 to 10 foot gap is getting too large, okay, so if you ever find that you're 20 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet back, I start to have panic attacks. Know that, okay? If I can't see you, I get worried, okay? And I stop the entire tour. We wait for you. You catch up. It's going to be very stop and go. Okay. If you ever find that gap, that 5 to 10 foot gap, is getting too large, you're going to speed your team up. Okay. And how you're going to do that is by throwing in some skateboard kicks. Okay. Pushing your team, working with your team, taking some weight off the dogs, allowing them to move a bit quicker. Okay. Once they move a bit quicker, you're going to catch up to that team that's in front. Again, do not come up very close. Okay. Keep that 5 to 10 foot gap at all times. Cool. Does that all sound good? A lot of information on the break. Yeah? All right. Cool. So the runners are the next thing that we're going to talk about. I talked a little bit about helping our team out. The main thing that we're going to be doing with the runners is getting off of them. Okay. When we are on uphills, okay, the dogs will not pull you up hills. Okay. Some hills they will be able to, but we're going to ask that you work with your team, help them out on the uphills. Okay. What you're going to do is on any uphill, you're going to get 2 feet off the runners like so, 2 hands on the handlebars and pushing your foot up the hill like a shopping cart. Okay. Running in, walking in, pushing in, get up to the top of the hill. Okay. If you find that your passengers had a little bit too much for breakfast and you need them to help you, get them out of their basket and get them to help you. Okay? This is very important because the dogs will start looking back at you, giving you the death stare, telling you that you are not working hard enough. Okay? Please get your passenger out of the basket, allow them to help you up that hill. Okay? Very, very important. Cool? The next thing for the runners is they're going to track your sled. Okay? They don't make a huge difference, but I'm going to challenge you guys a little bit. Okay? If you're feeling comfortable, you can move across the runners. Okay? If you want to travel to the left side, you're going to stand on the left runner. If you want to travel to the right side, you're going to stand on the right runner. Okay? If you stand on one runner the entire tour, it's not going to make a huge difference, but if you'd like to challenge yourself, you're feeling a little bit comfortable, you can move back and forth. Okay? Does that all sound good? Awesome.
So is that how you steer?
No, so steering is for the dogs. Yeah, so tracking your sled right to left. If there's ever side hilling or something like that, that's pulling your sled from one side to the other, you can stand on the uphill side. That will keep your sled from going into the ditch and all that sort of stuff. The next thing is the handlebars. Okay, handlebars come with 2 golden rules of dog sledding. Number 1 is always hang on. If you forget golden rule number 1, refer to the second one, which is never let go. Okay? Always hang on, never let go for any reason. Okay? The dogs do not have any remorse if they're flying down the trail with your passenger in the basket, the mercy of 5 runaway dogs, and you were laying in the snow on your butt. Okay? No remorse. Okay? They will leave you behind. Always hang on. Okay? There's no straps, there's no seatbelts, no harness, nothing to keep you attached except for your own 2 hands. Okay? Always hang on at all times. Distracted driving rules apply. Cool? All right. Yep. So the next things that we have are our snub line and our snow hook. Both of these are guides tools. I'm going to ask you guys never to touch these for any reason. Okay. This is a big nasty steel hook. It's for defense. It's defense purposes. If you ever see any dangerous wildlife, you swing it rapidly. Okay.
Too serious in here.
Very serious. Okay. No, this is actually like a parking brake for your car. Okay. Did you guys get the joke now? Yeah.
I thought you were serious.
No. Okay. Cool.
Their eyes shut with their heads about
Yeah, I know.
Bears? How big are they?
No, bears are sleeping and moose stay way away. So this is like a parking brake or an anchor. Okay, so you're gonna put it in the ground. We're gonna put it in the ground. Stop your sled from moving without you guys having to stand on the brake. Okay, that's essentially it. The purple rope we tied around things when we don't trust this. Cool. So never touch this. After all that information, you're not gonna do anything with it. Okay. All right. And then the last couple things that we'll talk about are bathroom breaks and how to get your sled to start moving once from a stop. Okay, bathroom breaks will happen out there. Okay, number 1, I'm going to give you guys a little rhyme. Number 1, they can do on the run. Number 2, stop, let them poop. Okay, do not make your dogs poop and run. If it's not in their repertoire, they do not know how to do it. They're terrible at it. Okay, do not make them run and poop. Okay, stop, allow them to do their business, and then you can continue on moving. Okay, pee breaks, we do not stop for pee breaks. Okay, look outside. There's lots of trees. Dogs pee on every single tree that they see. Okay, we will not be back until dark if we stop for every single pee break. Okay, so please do not stop for pee breaks, poo breaks, whoever. Stop your sled, allow them to do their business. Okay, getting your sled to start moving. Number 1, you're probably going to be on the brake if you're stopped. First thing you want to do, get off the brake. Okay, that sound of the brake coming up and hitting the bottom of the sled, it's an audible signal for the dogs you're ready to start moving. okay? Once that sound happens, they will start running. If they do not start running, you're gonna need to give your sled a push, okay? You might be stuck in some snow, something like that, frozen to the ground. You're gonna give your sled a little push. Once that starts moving, the dogs will be more than happy to start pulling your sled again. Again, get back on the brake, slow them back down, okay? As soon as they start moving from a stop, they will sprint, okay? They wanna get going again. If that does not work, so your sled does not start moving after you try both of those things, what you're gonna do is get your passenger out. They're gonna go up to the front of your dogs, so the front two dogs that are up at the front, your lead dogs, so you're going to grab onto their harnesses and pull them past whatever they're distracted by, okay? Because if those two things don't work, your dogs are distracted, okay? And there's a million things that can distract dogs, okay? So pull them past the distraction. Once they're past the distraction and focused, straightened out, they will continue running, okay?
So the passenger's getting out.
Passenger's going to do that. If the driver gets off the brake, they will leave you behind.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, awesome. Okay.